until people join the stream because for whatever reason, YouTube really likes when I stream from my phone and not anywhere else, which is kind of weird. So here we are, and now we will play the waiting game and see what happens. So here we are waiting. Waiting. Yay. I'm gonna just jam while we wait. Where's my pick though? That took me all about, oh, okay. Now I see where my pick's at. Oh, I can flip the orientation, that's cool. Yo. Live stream up and running. 2K subscribers. Let's go. What's happening? What if I flip the phone? Oh, I can't do that. Okay, can't flip the phone. For whatever reason, YouTube likes it when I live stream. For some reason, from my phone and not my laptop, which I find really weird. But here, let me get over to you guys' comments here. This is the 2,000 subscriber Q&A. And let me refresh this here. I'll get into the commentary. Cool. Let me see what's happening though with your comments as this is taking a minute to load. Okay, I see myself. How weird. Why does YouTube do it like that? All right, here's the live chat. Yo. What's happening? Like the stream for sure. Get the stream out there. Why can't I open? How do I open? Oh, here it is. My bad. Yo, what's up, Laser? What's up, Mike? Good to see you guys. What's up, everybody? As you can see here, I got the thing, dude. This is it. The thing you've all been waiting to see. I have the Yngwie Strat. I'm very happy with this guitar. You guys will actually get the insider scoop since I haven't even made a video on this yet. But I will present this guitar to you in this live stream exclusively. You'll be the first ones to see it. Isn't that crazy? 2,000 subscribers. Thanks so much. I have only had this channel not even 1 year. So I am absolutely thrilled that we have reached 2K subscribers. That actually means a lot. And I appreciate it, everybody who is spamming my comment section. All right, see, this is what I'm saying. For some reason, I don't know why YouTube does this, but if I stream it from my computer, can you play Should I Stay or Should I Go? Oh yeah, for sure. I just have to listen to it real quick. I was gonna say, for some reason, when I stream from my laptop, YouTube doesn't even show. All right, I'm sorry. This dude is... I'm sorry, buddy. You're about to get banned. All right, there we go. This guy has been banned. You can't spam my comments, dude. I need to see what people are saying. Whatever that is. Anyways, hey, I'm new. Can you play some Beatles? Yeah, let me see here. See, I didn't actually expect to be put on the spot, but I guess why not? As long as I don't get copyright. Let me think here. My guitar is actually kind of out of tune. Let me tune that real quick, and then we will ask your questions, by the way. This is the 2,000 subscriber Q&A. Really thrilled to... Hold on a second, let me tune. Sorry that you guys have to listen to me tune. Okay, anyways. Okay, yeah. I will, yes, everyone ask your questions. I will read them, I'll try to read them in a row. There's a lot here. Maybe I should put the guitar down. It was ask me to play so much stuff. No, I just want to say, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I've only had this channel Actually, it's coming up on like 1 year in August. I haven't even had it a full year yet, so I'm super ecstatic about that. The growth has been amazing, and obviously could not do it without all of you. So very much appreciate the enthusiasm and the support. I'm going to be showcasing this guitar on the stream exclusively. You guys are the first ones to see it. I paid like $2,500 for this guitar. Check it out. It's pretty sweet. You can see the scallops. It progressively scallops deeper as you go up the neck. I'll do an actual review, a formal one at some point, but this has 8s on it. It's tuned to E flat right now, so it's like literally as smooth as butter. All right, let me get to some of these questions now. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me do it on let me look on my computer so I can see all the questions. All right, I'm going to try to go back to the beginning before this dude like spammed my comment section and I had to ban him. Okay, can you play Should I Stay or Should I Go? Let me think. Isn't that it? I think it's like that. He does the weird thing there. Darling, you got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? And then it changes and I don't know where it goes after that. There you go. Okay, hopefully that'd be actually kind of hilarious if I got copyright over that. That would be kind of stupid. Let's see here. Hey, I'm new. Can you please play some Beatles? This one might suck. I don't know. No, what is it? See, it sounds weird in E flat. Okay, I suck. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher that anymore. My apologies. Oh wait, maybe I know it. Here's another one. I think I know this one. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna only play 2 seconds of that so I don't get the copyright. I'm sure they would try to do it being the Beatles. Okay, instrumentally speaking. Okay, let's see. This is from Mike. He says, loved your post and thoughts about Pantera. Glad I've seen Dime 5 times and Randy Rhoads February 9th, 1982. My 2 favorite players. Wow, that's crazy that you actually remember the date. That must have been a very significant show for your life. Yeah, love Dime, love Randy. Honestly, personal opinion, that was pretty much his band, like on those first 2 albums. I almost feel like Ozzy was an accessory to his own music. It feels like this guy, Randy Rhoads, decided to form a band, and then, he just had Ozzy on the vocals kind of thing. Obviously, that's not true, but you kind of get what I'm saying with that. Play some old school death metal. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know a lot of death metal. No, I'm definitely not giving away this guitar. This is my guitar. That would be beneficial for you guys, but that is not gonna happen. I'm not giving away this guitar. This is my personal guitar. This is actually a birthday present to me. I bought it only a couple weeks ago. My birthday's in I think 2 weeks or something. Do you have some recommended exercise to increase playing speed? I sure do. A lot of that is going to be involving this hand, the right hand. If you watch some of my videos, specifically watch the one on tremolo picking and economy picking. So if you literally just, type in my name and then type in tremolo pick or economy pick next to it, those videos should pop up. But just to give you a little something here on the channel, honestly, if you just go all chromatic and keep this all alternate pick on your right hand going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Sorry, my cat is using the litter box right now. I'm sure you could probably hear that through the camera. Okay, anyways. So if you go down, up, down, up, down, up, alternate pick. Oops. That exercise is really good. Ascending and then descending, you skip the strings back and forth like that. And basically what it's doing for your right hand is keeping the consistency of the pick strokes all the same. But what's really going on is you want to have these arm movements when you're switching strings. You go to the next string, you move up your arm just a little bit every so often. Every time you switch a string, same with the string skip, you go pull your arm back. There's your upstroke, push it forward, pull it back, forward, back, forward, back. That's honestly how Yngwie actually plays guitar. That's where I pretty much learned that from. Okay, let's see here. I hope that helps, by the way. Ask me another question if you need more clarity on that. Okay, let me keep going here. Blackbird starts with the G, F sharp. Right. Yeah, I know. I just can't think of how like the whole thing goes, so I don't want to like totally screw it up this moment. But I feel like I gave it a good college try. I don't know. Nice YJM Strat, says Last Jedi. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I am very happy with this guitar. It is also super rare. I don't know how much everyone in the stream knows about Yngwie Strats, but this is an incredibly rare guitar to get, actually. They don't even make it in blue anymore, and also these pickups are not made anymore, the DiMarzio pickups, if you can see that. These are super rare. So it is a privilege for sure to be able to own this guitar. I'm very happy with it. Everything about it is unique. The brass nuts here. These tuners are sick. You don't even cut yourself on the tuners because the strings all go poke into the holes. Hey, don't eat my cable. Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. Trying to eat my cable, dude. Yeah, so this guitar is super sick. It honestly sounds amazing on clean and distortion. Here's like, I don't know, some nice... I was like, where am I going with that? All right. There you go. Play jazz on the Yngwie Strat. Let's see here. Let's keep going with the comments. Hello, Lil Smoke on the Water. That is a hilarious name. I actually really like that. That's kind of funny. I could do some Smoke on the Water. No, actually, I probably shouldn't. So I'm gonna get a copyright for that for sure. I seen Pantera on the Power Metal Tour. Is that like when they were still a hair band, or is that actually what the tour was called? And 2 years later, at the same venue stage on the Cowboys from Hell tour. Okay, so it probably was in the 80s. That's crazy. When that venue went under, my drummer bought the stage for $400 that Dime played on. That's pretty crazy because I didn't even know you could purchase a stage. That is cool. I don't know how that works, but that is cool. Also, everybody, real quick, please like the stream so that way it can just, get out there in the algorithm. Okay, let's keep going with the comments. Laser says, thank you. I will be checking those other videos out after the stream. I appreciate that. Oh, and by the way, while I'm thinking of this, I should actually mention this while we're on stream. I have about 5 lesson slots available right now. I literally, like, in the last 24 hours had like 2 students cancel. So I had 3, and then I had 2 people drop off here going into the month of August. So if you want that one-on-one instruction from yours truly, hit me in the email at sergedrobin@gmail.com. You can also find that in all my links. I usually send that stuff out through the newsletter. I don't mean to keep plugging, but another thing that if you're not signed up for that, you're definitely going to want to be, because that's all my free written guitar lessons sent every month, as well as all the tabs that I have that I wrote. I did not take those tabs from some other website or YouTube. They're all written by me. So you can count on those being incredibly accurate tabs for all the stuff that I have there. But yeah, gonna want to sign up for that. But I usually promote the private instruction through the newsletter, but I figured just since I had quite a few open slots for the month of August, end of July-ish, that I would might as well just promote it right now on the stream. So if that's something you want to take advantage of, send me an email, state your case, and I'll get back to you. Even if the slots fill up and you email me, because I'm kind of first come, first serve with that stuff, even if it fills up, I'll still email you and like let you know that you're on the waiting list either way. So just want to throw that out there for everybody. Eventually I'll have more with that going on because I'm working on a course right now, just speaking of the right hand technique, that should be out soon, but I just don't have a date yet. So anyways, there you have it. I appreciate you checking out my videos, Laser. And then Big says, which electric guitar would you get if you want something really versatile and a good price, quality under 800? Not for metal, sorry, excuse me, but so it can work for all other genres. That is a really good question, and I have actually a really solid answer to your question. My number one go-to guitar for this question would actually be the Nick Johnson Schecter. You're going to want to check that out. That's in your budget. I think that guitar is $700 new, I want to say. That's going to be your ticket for sure. The Nick Johnson Schecter Strat. It's like the most versatile. And make sure it's the HSS one. So, you know, instead of 3 singles, you got the humbucker and 2 single coils. That's what you're going to want. And that'll be good for nearly every genre of music. And it's in your budget for sure. Schecter probably makes like the best budget guitars other than Yamaha, in my opinion. Those two are pretty heavy hitters. Everything else doesn't even come close, in my opinion. Unless you pick up like I've done with the other Strat that I have. That was a Squier. So if you pick up like a really nice Squier, maybe that was, you know, because I feel like they get it right, not every time, but if you find one that's really good and you want to like make it over with some cool pickups and all that, you know, that's always a good option as well. What really makes a guitar good for specific genres? That's a good question. It mainly has to do with the electronics. So, example, the body shape, that's just really a personal preference. I know metal guys that don't have cutouts right here. They prefer the Telly shape, the Les Paul shape, etc. I prefer the double cutaway. I just think it looks awesome, for one. It's classic, and I'm kind of just a Strat guy, to be honest. I don't really play other body styles. I don't really like them. I find them ugly. That's just me, though. That doesn't have to be you. So the body in that really doesn't have much to do with it. Even the neck doesn't have much to do with that, because I can play metal on the Strat all day as well, being that it is an Yngwie Strat, but it could be any Strat. So really what it is the electronics. Can your pickups do really nice clean sounds and dirty sounds? How versatile is it? Is it really only good for distortion, or is it really only good for clean? That's kind of a loaded question because there's so many angles I could go to. But basically, humbuckers are good for rock and metal most of the time. Single coils are great also for rock, less on the metal side of things usually, because they can't get the same chunk out of the low end with the beefy chords. Also great for nearly every other style of music. You can play jazz. Humbuckers are actually good for jazz too, though. But single coils are good. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty biased at this point towards the single coils because I've just played with them so much now that I've kind of grown to like single coils for everything that I do. And that's including distorted stuff. But honestly, that's just like the time that I've taken to kind of like get the sound just fantastic. Because you have to really work at your tone with single coils. It's not like humbuckers, you can almost just like turn it on and it sounds good. Single coils, you gotta like craft the tone because the pickups are so pure. It's like truth serum. As soon as you turn on the single coils, you're gonna hear, for one, all your mistakes if you make any, and you're gonna hear if the tone is actually good or not, and then you have to do a lot of tweaks. So I would say single coils, if you're gonna do distortion with them, definitely are more for a mature ear. You could start with it though. I mean, your ear will develop over time anyways, so it's really just personal preference. I mean, for me, I've really been rocking it with the single coils, but I did decide to keep my Jackson custom shop and put different humbuckers in it just so I can still have one humbucker guitar. So I hope that answers your question on that. I don't know if that helps, but these DiMarzios, by the way, are silent pickups. So if I put it all the way on the high gain, so right now I'm on the high gain, and you can hear no buzz, right? Because these are crafted literally for no hum. So they're basically humbuckers, but they're the sound of a single coil, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's go on to the next question. Hopefully that helps you. Let's see, what? Okay, we actually no, we answered that question, bro. You got to be playing. Random man, bro. I'm not even gonna read this comment. You gotta be playing me with that one, bro. That's crazy. Finn, actually, you know what's? I'll say I'll say this to that comment. Those Hello Kitty guitars are kind of sick, though. I ain't gonna lie. I actually did play one, and I was like, it's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't buy it because it has Hello Kitty on it, but as kind of a joke, it's almost funny. Kick him out. No, I'm not gonna do that. As long as he doesn't troll my comment sections like the whole time we're on here. I will ban you if you just like troll my entire comment sections. Like earlier, I had to ban a guy, but it's fine right now. Yo, what's up? Is this my student? Yes, it is. One of my students is in chat. There you go. Boom. Your favorite guitar student has entered the chat. Love it. Love it. Yeah, you're up there, dude. You're up there for sure. You might be you're definitely in the top 5 for sure. Out of like I'm trying to think how many students I have. It's definitely in the 30s right now. I think I have like 30 something students. You're definitely in the top 5, bro. So let's see here. Have you tried? Let's see here. You know what? You might be in top 3. Okay. Anyways, just to count, you might be in my top 3 favorite students. How about that? Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. Let me go on to the next question. I wanted to give him his cred. Okay. Have you tried the Fishman Fluence silent pickups? I think I actually have. I had an Ibanez Prestige. That it was, I can't remember what this was, an RG Prestige, and it had Fishman Fluence, and it had 2 humbuckers, and the shape of them anyways, and 1 single in the middle. Didn't really like them that much, which is part of the reason why I sold that guitar. Truthfully, I kind of regret selling that guitar. If there's any guitar I actually regret selling, it is that one. I should not have gotten rid of that guitar, but I don't know. At the time, I was going through a lot of phases with guitar playing. I think I'm overall obviously much happier with my collection now anyways, but I still wish I would have kept the Ibanez. I just didn't like the wizard neck, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know, the thin neck didn't do it. I really do just like these regular Strat C-shaped necks, and now that I got the scallops, like I've pretty much scalloped all my guitars actually at this point. I can't go back from the scallops. Like now I have to do it. And part of the reason is because, so I'll give you the little backstory. When I got this guitar out of the case and played it the first time, it was like nothing was different for me. And that's just because I'm so used to already playing on scallop fretboard. I play with a super, super light touch already. So as soon as I played this guitar, this being the fully scallop neck, so basically this is my only guitar right now that's actually the full fretboard is scalloped. The other Strat, which maybe I'll show in a second, is the scalloped, half scalloped from like the D string and up from the 12th fret and beyond. And then my Jackson is in the shop right now actually getting half scallops, meaning like kind of the lower half. The top half rather. So like the D string to the E string is all getting that fretboard scalloped under it, and that's going to be the entire neck. So right now, yeah, I'm pretty much, I guess I would say, sold on scallops. Like that's all I care to play at this point. My playing style has progressed so much around the scallops that it just doesn't even feel normal for me now to play a regular fretboard. I mean, I could do it, obviously. It's more just about like my preference, and now I just prefer the scallops. So the intonation is better. Your technique automatically has to be better to play with it, meaning like your touch has to be really light. And the vibrato is just absolutely insane. Like, let me turn this down so my neighbors don't get mad. Let me go back to the dirty channel so you can hear this vibrato. All right, check this out. Hopefully you guys can hear this all right. It's too easy to vibrato on here with the scallops. Oops, I lost my sustain. Where's my sustain? I think I got a noise gate on this or something. Anyways, I'm just doing this out of the Spark Go. That's part of the reason. I'd have to get on my phone and like do the app and change the settings, but whatever. You get the idea. The vibrato is pretty insane. So anyways, there you go about the scallops. Love this guitar. Let's see here. I'm going through the comments. You recommended me the Nick Johnson. What? Sorry. Oh, this is the Nick Johnson Stratocaster from Schecter. HSS. That's the one you want. Yeah. If you call Sweetwater, try to get my sales rep, who's also one of my best friends, Evan Hall, on the line, and he could probably get you a deal. Just say that you came from my YouTube channel, and maybe he'll be able to help you out on that buy. I can't guarantee that, but he'll probably, hopefully, give you preferable treatment since you're a viewer of my channel. At some point, I'm hoping to actually get the partnership with Sweetwater, like officially, but one of my best friends literally works for them as a sales rep in Fort Wayne, so all my viewers that buy from him, you know, usually he tries to help them out anyways, so that's cool. Rock Me Amadeus. You talking about like Mozart right now? I'm not really sure about that comment. He says yay. That's funny. Yeah, let's see here. Are you familiar with the lace sensor pickups, or lacy sensor pickups? Maybe is how that's pronounced. No, I'm not. I am not familiar. I'll have to check. Are these like single coils, or is that a brand? Let's see here. Mike Seedorf, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says, which, by the way, thanks for all your comments tonight, Mike. Appreciate you watching the stream. Again, thanks for the 2K subs, everybody. This is a live stream Q&A, so feel free to drop all your comments here and questions as I read them. What's your input on who brought the neoclassical to the metal scene? Malmsteen is the first person or people mentioned. Sean Lane, at 15 years old in the late 70s, was playing in this style. I don't quite agree with that, because I feel like Sean Lane is definitely more of a jazz fusion player. Sean Lane is probably, I mean, he's honestly probably the best guitar player to like ever walk the face of the earth, to be honest. He's like inhuman with his skills. So that's kind of a tough one. I mean, Yngwie is my favorite guitar player. I mean, it's such a debatable thing. Like, yeah, who's the best guitar player? It's like, that's a tough question to answer, because these guys all have their own style. I mean, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you Malmsteen, but Sean Lane's a hard one to argue with because he's just a beast. But yeah, you're right about that. He was on the scene actually at the same time as Eddie Van Halen. But see, I think his issue was that he just played such esoteric music, that it's kind of like, how do you make that known? Because even now I talk to people that don't know who Sean Lane is, and it's like, I don't know how you're a guitar player and don't know Sean Lane, but it's almost understandable, because it's like he was just doing like so intricate music that it didn't really ever make it into any mainstream audience at all. Unlike when you saw like Eddie or Yngwie or even Jason Becker or Steve Vai, it's like the star power that they had behind them was a lot different, which is kind of why they get a lot more cred, I think, than Sean Lane. But yeah, Sean Lane is kind of doing it. I don't want to say before because here's how I kind of look at it. If I'm gonna put a timestamp on something, I have to see like video evidence of someone doing that thing. Um, but I have seen a video of Sean Lane. I think it was 1979 live. So yeah, he's early for sure. He's super early. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to say. But I don't feel like he invented neoclassical. I didn't really ever feel like he played that style. It really was more like if you listen to Powers of 10, I mean, that's a straight fusion record. Trying to think, actually, is that no, he has a couple other records. I just can't think of what they're called right now, but I've never heard him do neoclassical. It's really, I've only really heard him do a lot of fusion jazz stuff. Incredibly insane, don't get me wrong. Definitely one of the best guitar players ever. Okay, let's keep going here. It's Lace, not Lacy. Okay, I got you on that. Oh, I missed like this whole thing. What didn't you like about the pickups? They're so crystal clear for recordings, but they do lack the warmth of real pickups. But nothing, you can't use a pedal or plugin. Yeah, I'm kind of an analog purist when it comes to recording. Like, I use a ton of plugins, but I try to really get the purest recording I can in the box, like while I'm actually tracking. So for me, I'd prefer to just not use any plugins at all. Like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. It's just really a preference thing. So I totally get why people like them. The Fishman Fluence pickups, they're just not for me. They just didn't feel like they had character to me. My students' Strats are gods, or the Squire. Yeah, that's true. I got some of my students hooked on the Strats now for sure. I got them biased to those Strats. If you're my student, you might end up wanting to play a Strat too. Who knows? Although, you know what's funny, dude? Like, you didn't even buy a single coil Strat though. You got a humbucker Strat, which is kind of funny to me. But I honestly get it though, because you're playing metal. You know, I get it. You want those EMGs? I understand. I can't argue with that. But for me personally, a true Strat is the single. That to me is a true Stratocaster. But yes, the shape of a Strat is still a Strat. And then, of course, you have a Super Strat as well, which the Super Strat is kind of what you have, which is the double humbucker EMGs in your Strat, which is cool. That's a cool guitar. Vibrato, Gelato, that's kind of funny. Okay, what's your opinion of the Boss Katana amps? Love them. I think they're absolutely fantastic. If you are a bedroom player, well, let's say this first. If you can have loud music in your bedroom, Katana is the way to go. In fact, if you wanted to play a live gig and use the pedal stoppers, Katana is still the way to go. I think they got the DI input on the back. Love the Katana. Honestly, solid state amps have come a very long way. Swap the single coils out for some hot rails. Nah. Are you talking about on this guitar? Or are you just saying in general? I don't really like the hot rails that much. And personally, I feel like I actually can just get a better tone out of regular single coils that have a little bit higher output in them if I want to get the high gain. Get the high gain and just compress the hell out of the distortion. And you'll get the sound that you want. Obviously, these pickups are designed for high gain already, these DiMarzios. So they're, hum canceling automatically and the output is insanely high. So gotta love it for that reason. But yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the hot rails if I'm just being totally honest. I don't really like the way they look. I don't like the way they look, but I also just, same thing. It's like I just don't really like the way they sound either. I just think regular singles sound better. Appreciate that. Yeah, no problem. Mary Butler asked a question mark. Not sure to the question though. Matt Acoustic says exclusively used by Fender from 1985. What does it say? Exclusively used by Fender from 1985 to 1996. Standard on the Fender Ultras. One of my musician friends swears by them. What do you reference? Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay. This is to the lace pickups. Okay, so they were used by Fender from '85 to '96, and then put on the Ultras. I did not know that. I know the Ultras, the Strat Ultras, did not do very well. A lot of people were reselling them, and I remember when this was the decline of those guitars were happening because I actually walked into a Guitar Center in Arlington. Was it Arlington, Texas? No, some it was. And I think it was in Dallas. I was in Dallas and I walked into a Guitar Center and the sales rep took the brand new price tag and literally said, "I will sell you this Fender Ultra for 2,100 new right now if you want to walk out right now the door." And I'm like, "But the price tag's 3 grand." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I'll give it to you for 21." So I just remember that I was like, "That is I've never seen that ever happen with new guitars ever in my life." So I know that those Fender Ultras really took a beating there in the market. People didn't really like them. I don't really know why. I actually thought they were fine. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't really see a huge problem with the Fender Ultras, but I like the noiseless pickups. So I don't know. I guess maybe people didn't like that. I really don't know. 6 magnetic poles, lace sensors, generate 36 separate. Yeah, see, this is, I'm going to be honest with you. That's like stuff that's a little bit beyond my knowledge. When you start getting to like the poles and how it works with the pickups, all I know personally is just like what my ear is hearing when it comes to pickups. If I'm being totally honest, like usually if I'm about to do a pickup swap, I have to have like a luthier literally explain to me what the pickup does, like and how I think it might sound before I buy it. And if I trust them, then it's great. So that's yeah, that's great though that you have that knowledge. It's just a little bit beyond me. 2K bear ear beer. I don't know what you're saying, dude. Michael Romeo. Mike asked me, what do I think of Michael Romeo? He's good. I think, was he in Symphony X, right? Yeah, he's solid. He's solid. A lot of people ask me about Michael Romeo. His playing just hasn't really stood out to me, like to the point where I really got into his playing, but he's good. I mean, I'm not going to take that from him. He's super good. Definitely a very solid player. Okay, the lace pickups are the same coil. That's cool. The green circle is wild. I don't know what you are talking about. If I'm being honest. Opinion on headless guitars. Some of them are cool. I like them. I just don't own one because I kind of don't like the way they look. I almost bought a Strandberg at Sweetwater when I was visiting my buddy in Fort Wayne. They're pretty sick. They play really nice. The fan fret design is awesome. The neck is awesome. I'm not sure if I'd feel the same way now because I love the scallops, and you can't. It's pretty hard. Excuse me, to scallop fan frets, but well, maybe not. I don't know. I might just be talking out of my ass on that one, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd buy a Strandberg now. It just maybe not. I don't. It's hard to say on that one. I'd have to play it again and see if I still like it. But yeah, I did like it a lot. Definitely the body shape is nice for like classical position because they have all the contours. Chris Spawn. Hey Serge, just found out about your channel today and saw your video on Pantera and not playing metal anymore. Well, I appreciate that, and I hope you enjoyed both of those videos and took something away from the message there. It's not that I like literally don't play metal anymore. I'm just not really interested in like writing it at this moment or really doing any kind of covers of it, I guess. But then people will ask me like the Yngwie stuff, but I just don't really consider Yngwie metal. I know like that's a debatable thing. To me, like neoclassical is kind of its own thing. So I still love distorted guitars. I'm just not into like super heavy music right now. Part of it's just because it's been so overplayed because I liked it so much. I just listened to so many of these records growing up and into my early 20s as well that I think I just finally was like, I'd like to chill now. But that does not mean I still don't have a lot of love for all of those bands. And I hope that metal changes in the future. I hope that it starts kind of progressing again and maybe it's able to revive itself. But maybe not. Who knows? Can I play Kryptonite? Yeah, let me see if I know that one. I feel like I do. Let's see. Wait. And what's that little riff? Hmm. All right, I butchered that enough. Hopefully, I think that was Kryptonite. Scott Alderman. Hi. Yo, what is good? Mad Music. Check out the band Verbo and their album. What is it? Probably Chronicles, what that's supposed to say. You can hear the last sensor pickups throughout the record. Definitely Bob Mole, the Husker Du, Sugar influence. Okay, that's cool. Man, you're definitely you should be a rep for those pickups, bro. You're definitely trying to get me into that. That's cool. Mike Seedorf says, have you heard of Jalen pickups? Made in the USA, wound to your specs, single or humbucker pickups, 3-day return, $145 for a single, for like one pickup? That's like crazy money. I mean, that sounds cool though. And humbucker for my rig, 565 reissue, killer pickups. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. I mean, I guess when I have a guitar that I'm looking to do a pickup swap, I'll look into that for sure. 145 for one pickup is a lot. I'm used to like 99 as the kind of standard price, but fair enough. Chris Spawn, I can respect that, and I can definitely relate. A lot of bands feel generic and unoriginal nowadays, but I feel like that's kind of what's happening with music and media in general. We're kind of hitting a wall. I kind of agree. I actually have a theory behind that. And I think the theory is the innovation of the electric guitar. Because when you think about it, it's like when rock and roll was defined as a genre, what else was being defined? The innovation of this instrument and all these changes, and also amps. Amp innovation was happening a lot. So I think that people took a lot of inspiration from those innovations and were able to constantly do more with the genre. You know what I mean? And eventually, like what we're talking about here with the humbuckers and coming out and people being able to get higher gain sounds. Mesa Boogie came out, you get higher distortion than the Marshall JCM. And that trickled into a lot of the music that was fresh at the time. And I think, in a sense, you're kind of right, because in a way, a lot of the sounds have all been done in terms of what has actually been crafted. So it is kind of hard to like come up with something new when there's not really anything new being innovative. It's like, rather than a new thing being innovative, you just have the old things being converted into digital now. So it doesn't leave a lot of room. But I still think electric guitar is the best instrument of all time. And there's plenty more to do with it, even if it's just not rock and metal at the moment. So I think there's still more to come. It just might not be in rock or metal. Bad example, because you guys aren't going to like this example probably, but Chappell Roan has, guitar solo in whatever that Pink Pony Club song is. And I think that song hit like #1. So I feel like either way, as much as people might not like Chappell Roan, which I'm not really a fan of her, but that song I guess is catchy. But that is a win, in my opinion, for electric guitar either way. To see a guitar solo on a #1 song, even if it's not the craziest solo, that is still cool to me. Let's see. Blink-182, damn it. All right, that one I for sure can do. There you go. All right, not selling you on them, but I think you'll dig the sound of them. No, that's fair. I get it. I get it. Oh, Tommy, AZ Frontiersman. Sorry, I didn't mean to say your real name in the stream. It's good to AZ. Sorry, I won't say your real name constantly. AZ Frontiersman is actually a good friend of mine. Did you know that in 1983 I started playing metal music on an unmodified Strat and played through a super saturated 400 watt PV with a 4x12 cab? It was a devastating sound. Was that in a good way or a bad way? What is devastating could go both ways, I guess. That's cool. Yeah, 1983. That definitely would have been the year that you had like Metallica, Kill 'Em All, Hot on Your Heels, the Yngwie Steeler album with that solo on there came out in 1983. I think no, maybe not Ozzy. Is any of the Ozzy albums 1983 or is that 1982? Because I wanted to say that. Why is that escaping me? Diary of a Madman, I want to say came out in 83, but I might be wrong. A lot of good albums, 83 and 84, for sure. You need to check Dirty Loops band. It's awesome. I will check them. Hopefully if I can remember to do that, I will definitely check them. Chris Spawn, by the way, perfect guitar for playing any genre is a Fender Jazzmaster, a humbucker in the bridge, and a P90 in the neck. Just my opinion. Valid opinion. Never been a huge Jazzmaster fan, and for me, I'm just biased towards the body shape. To be honest, I just really like the the S. This is called the S shape. I just like that. Jazzmaster's cool though. I actually like all the switches on them. They do cool stuff. I hate Tech Bros. Okay. I don't really understand that. Fair enough. Funny thing is that I usually sit behind my Pearl or Gretsch drum kits. Like you're saying like while you're playing guitar? I mean that is cool. What is sorry, how do I say your name? Aesop Vaughn, maybe? Aesop Vaughn. I hope that's right. What's a decent $1,000 to $1,500 electric guitar for someone who's learning jazz fusion? That's a good question. I've had the same Core EVL Z2 for years, and I want to step it up a notch. Man, for jazz fusion, dude, I don't want to get too biased with it, but I'd honestly say a Charvel. Like any of the HSS, excuse me, Charvels. I mean, really, that could go a lot of different directions because it's such a vast playing style. I mean, you could do it on a Strat, but you probably want some humbuckers for the fusion stuff. I would say, I mean, like what I recommended the other guy, the Schecter Nick Johnson Strat is awesome. Schecter is just such a good company for the price point. Charvel, if I'm being totally honest, has been hit or miss these days. I bought a guitar that was a Charvel San Dimas HH, and I ended up having some problems with the Floyd Rose on it. So you just gotta like kind of know your stuff and know what you're looking for if you go to buy one. They hopefully have recovered a little bit. That was like the 2020 era of Charvel, so a lot of guitar companies were having issues then. But it did leave a sour taste in my mouth, but you might be still good. I still like Charvel as a company, but I have gotten burned on their guitars a few times, so I'm not so quick to recommend them anymore. I would say Schecter's going to be your best quality. Oh, you know what a sick one you should check out is the Yamaha. Man, I can't think of this guitar, but if you look up the Yamaha Strat style body, you'll find some cool stuff on there. I think they have an SS version. I would go HSS though for most music, to be honest, unless you're just doing like straight like the hardest metal ever, then get two humbuckers for sure, but it doesn't really matter. I hope that answers your question, but those should all be in the 1,000 to 1,500 range. Ibanez, I'm not so quick to recommend Ibanez, but you might be able to get like a used RG made in Japan. If you're gonna buy Ibanez, personal opinion, only buy it made in Japan. Do not buy anything that's overseas at all from them. I only buy Japanese stuff. Randy Shea, maybe, but pop music today isn't a business. Let's see, Mike. Hold on, I gotta get a drink of water. Yeah, you're right, Mike. You're right. It's 1982. That's what I was thinking. Both pickups were 145. Okay, that's actually a good deal. Okay, Aesop Vaughn. I heard Greg Howe a year ago and said that I need to learn how to play like that. Oh, you said to yourself that you need to learn. Okay. What do you think of Greg Howe? I gotta check him out more if I'm being honest. I haven't heard him a lot. I know who he is. I just haven't really heard him a lot. Mary Butler. I hate Ibanez. Yeah, pretty much me too, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan. Saw Ozzy, both Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman tours. That's pretty sweet. My dad did too. Look at that. My dad's been to like every concert there is. I thank my dad so much for getting me into all the best music at a young age. My dad is like always at like the forefront of like every band that was ever taking off. He like always had like the album that was like out before anyone knew about him and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Like even at like Dead Kennedy stuff, it's like what the heck, dude? That's crazy. Do you know how to play Natural Science by Rush? Not a huge Rush fan, so I don't. I'm trying to think if I know anything else though. I probably don't know any Rush. I'm sorry. Ibanez used to be my favorite, and I used to absolutely hate Fender. Now it's the other way around. Actually, me too, believe it or not. I've never actually been a huge Ibanez fan, but definitely used to hate Fender at one point, and now it's probably my favorite. It is what it is. Okay, with that being said, I'm losing my voice. So I might have to jump off the stream here. But I really appreciate everybody who joined my 2K sub live stream. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and all the growth and all the support. Very much appreciate it. If you have not signed up for the free monthly newsletter, make sure to do that. The link is in all of my videos. All you got to do is go on my website and click the link, put your email in. You get free written guitar lesson and all of my tabs, all for free. The other thing I'm going to mention before I jump off the stream as well, this is important because I usually only share this on the newsletter, is that I am offering, I have, have a good night. I appreciate you, Matt Acoustic. Thank you. Have a good night. Yes, thank you. I have 5 lesson slots available right now online for all my YouTube peeps. I usually only tell people in the newsletter about it, but I figured since I have so many open, specifically this month, being that it is kind of summer and that happens occasionally, because long story short, had a couple students actually drop in the last 24 hours. So that's why I figured I'd just open it up to the YouTube audience. But I normally send this through the newsletter. So if the private instruction interests you, send me an email and state your case, and I will get back to you. And worst comes to worst, if you email me a little too late and then the slots get full, I'll just put you on the waiting list. So it's not a big deal at all. Email sergedrobin@gmail.com. State your case, and I will get back to all the emails for sure. Let's see here. Have a good night. Yeah. Thank you guys. Chris. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Everybody, thank you so much again. I'm out, dude. I think I'm out. So have a good night and peace out, everybody. Thank you so much.